Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is Friday. It is April 18th. It is Good Friday. It is Feel Good Friday. I hope that you are having an amazing week, and thank you very much for being with me today on the show. The meat of the show is going to be talking about the defense. We're going to pipe in some sound from Kane Womack, talking about the experience, and the key word is buy-in, right? When you have all these returning starters coming back, the guys indicated on the screen with the star by their name indicates that they played a significant amount during last season. All those guys coming back. Alabama in potential play for a tight end, and Coach DeBoer was down in Mobile yesterday at a speaking engagement and was asked about the transfer portal and kind of talking about that movement. You know, we're now going into the third day of the transfer portal, and you know how many transfers that they've been out of Alabama. And I know the portal ends on the 26th, but the good news is that we continue to see 0 names inside the transfer portal. And also Alabama is targeting a tight end. So that's the good news. The good news is 0 out and a potential tight end in play for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So 2 pieces of good news, and also talking about the Alabama defense. That's going to be the show today. So I appreciate you guys being here. Definitely drop a thumbs up inside the comment box, and away we go. But here's the defensive outlook, okay? But the news starts with this, okay, as we get going. Before we get to our hoodie of the day, this is our new giveaway. I want to tell you guys about a tight end that Alabama is targeting, okay? So everybody go out now and follow this young man on his social media account. Look, in-state guy, was previously at UAB. He's currently at Troy. He hit the transfer portal recently. 6'5", 250 pounds. This could be an addition to Alabama in the transfer portal. You know what I was thinking about? All the guys that Coach DeBoer really targeted in the spring last year were really good contributors. But one of the things that you have to realize, and I'll kind of fast forward to this, so this is a key target. Probably someone I would watch very, very closely. If you're out there, Brody Dalton. And look, what were the 2 areas that we knew Alabama had a target? One was the tight end position, right? Another was offensive line. And Coach DeBoer, you know, maybe making a play to add somebody to from the transfer portal. Now, here's a look at the tight ends. But before I go to that, this is what Coach DeBoer recently said. And we'll go full screen on this quote. He's down in Mobile yesterday at a speaking engagement. He said, look, I think there'll be some activity, talking about the transfer portal, right? I guess from our standpoint, any way you can improve the roster, we will do that. I really like, obviously, our freshman class. They were highly regarded. This is the difference, okay? Eyes up. Listen here. This is the difference. This recruiting class that he had come in 2025, he didn't have that luxury last year, so he had to add more components from the transfer portal, right? This year's recruiting class is that good, and he has already the tracks laid and the foundation. So this recruiting class, like, I don't know how many guys you're really going to add from the transfer portal. You're going to add a couple of guys, but that statement on the back end, the freshman class, and let me just ask you, okay? Look, the freshmen have played 0 games. 0 games, okay? We understand football. We watch football. There's a ton of sites that you read. Coaches talk about the players. Okay, let's frame it like this. Okay, I need your help. What would you say the spring assessment on a scale of 1 to 10 of this top recruiting class from 2025? What would you say the spring assessment is of them on a scale of 1 to 10? Would you say like 10, through the roof? 8, like pretty damn good? 7, you're like, okay, yeah, we need to see the guys play still. Or 5 would be like mid. And it better not be lower than, look, I feel like I'm a tough grader on a lot of this. I could rattle off a lot of these freshman classes, names from this freshman class. I don't know if these guys are going to start, but they are definitely going to contribute and play early. But most importantly, this is the most important thing. Ryan Williams, Noah Carter, those are the first 2 guys from 2024. But this is the foundation level of Coach DeBoer and Courtney Morgan. See what I'm saying? And look at all these. Look, I'm not gassing you up. Look at all the. Look, Rocketown, 8.5. Matt Dunn, 8.5. Herman, 9. Anita Waters, Melon Jesus. Cade, what's up, man? Good to see you. Chad, 10. Nicole, what's up, Nicole? Jay Boogie said. So what I'm saying is that is the foundational base of Coach Kalen DeBoer now that he's at Alabama in year 2. So you don't need to necessarily go out and try to go to the transfer portal and dig for all these pieces, right? Like, let me ask you this. If Alabama went into the transfer portal for the defense, and I'll go full screen again, where would Alabama go in the transfer portal? Where maybe the defensive line. I don't have the too deep right on this board, but you're about to hear some sound in just a minute from Kane Womack talking about Jeremiah Beeman. We heard really good things about Edric Hill. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, where do you need to go in the transfer portal over here? I don't know. I think on the offensive side, as I was alluding to kind of in the beginning of the show, Brody Dalton seems to be a guy that would make sense to the tight end room, okay? Here's your tight end room. Not a lot of experience here. There's not. We still don't know what Danny Lewis is capable of. You could use that as rat poison or whatever. I've been a fan of Danny Lewis. He was banged up this spring. Josh Cuevas, we're hopeful for him, right, that he's a guy. Jay Lindsey just got here. This is his second year. Caleb Edwards, he's not even here yet. And Marshall Pritchett, he's banged up a little bit. So the tight end room, I think if I had to assess the tight end room, it's not as talented as the other positions. So, this is a name to watch. And look, I don't know if he's going to, 6'5", 250 pounds. Alabama needs to replace CJ Dupree and Robbie Oots, right? And I don't think you're going to see a lot of 2 tight end sets, but this is a name to know from the transfer portal target, all right, or the transfer portal. All right, let me give some shout-outs real quick on this Good Friday. Lissa, what's up? Perfect attendance as usual. Herman, good morning to you. I appreciate you being here. Kaylin DeBoer, what's up, man? Samuel Mullins, what's going on? Double A on the back end, what's up? Good morning to you. Tonette, turn up. I appreciate you being here on Friday. Chad Kennedy, my boy, man, what's up? It's me, Marvin. What's going on, man? Good to see you inside the comment box. Cookie All Day is here. I appreciate it, man. Justin Weaver, good morning, man. Matt Dunn, always good to see you, bro. Been a really strong supporter. Army 3275 just got a surgery a couple days ago. He's feeling good. Good to see him up and around. Christopher A-Day, good morning, coming to us from beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. Bama Boy, what's up? I appreciate you being here. Chris from New Jersey checking in. Jeff, good to see you as well. Eric D, what's going up? 8M85, I appreciate you. Patrick Dozer, what's up, man? Antoine, my boy, bro, what's good? Kings Family React, what's good, man? Amando, good morning to you. Caitlin Childress, Brady, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Latoya Billingsley coming in. Ryan Harris, what's up, man? Good morning. It's Feel Good Friday. I hope that you're having a good Friday. Jeff has been a fan funder for 15 months. Miss Careless up in the house. And Jason Mandeville. Mandyville? Is that right? Jarvis, what's up, Jarvis? And Todd. So, and to everybody else inside the Undefeated, appreciate you guys rocking with us today. All right, so look, yesterday the hoodie on the raffle was won by Alex. Alex was a late addition to the raffle. He jumps in and he wins the raffle. Today, this is what we're rolling with. This is our new raffle, okay? Hey, in Whoa, you're already in with 10 spots. So $10 to get into today's raffle to win this hoodie, okay? This is what we're giving away for a raffle today, okay? I like this hoodie. You know me and my hoodies. Look, I want this hoodie myself, all right? So don't be surprised if you see me inside the raffle. So you could, to get into the raffle, it's Bama_YouTube or Cash App Bama YouTube. And then once we get to 20, we raffle it out. All right, we hit the pinwheel. We hit the pinwheel yesterday. And Paul Gomez won the consolation prize, which was this decal. And then Alex Wilder came away with the Ryan Williams hoodie. So, if we don't hit that threshold today, we'll roll it over to our next show. We already have Whoa, who's been in here. So, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube to get with the hoodie, which I think is tight. And the cool thing about this hoodie, you know me, look, and I'm rocking the military appreciation green. If you want this particular shirt, go to, I got this at Dick's Sporting Goods. My kids always laugh because I say, for whatever reason, I call Dick's Sporting Goods Big Five. I don't know why. There was a big five where I grew up at. Maybe that's why, I don't know. But this story is cool. I'm all about military appreciation. So this particular hoodie, Nate Hardy and Mike Coach right? Born as a way to honor Nate Hardy and Mike Coach, two Navy SEALs and friends who fought and died together in Iraq in 2008 and are buried together at Arlington National Cemetery. You know what? Who has been to Arlington? Who's been to Arlington, the cemetery? I have. You know, I used to live out there in D.C., man, and it is, when they put the wreaths up around Christmas and National, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And I've seen the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier as well. Really cool. Remember, freedom's not free, so it's always a Military Appreciation Day here. A portion of each sale helps fill critical gaps in that care. Thank you for supporting the service. So you can go to Fanatics and just buy this hoodie if you want to, or you can go to Athletes Gear and buy any of the merchandise that we have on this. Those are officially licensed stuff, through the university or through Athletes Thread. So, you don't have to wait for a raffle. Chad Kennedy, I got you in, man. Thanks for, you are in the raffle, bro. All right, and if you want to be in the raffle, we'll do it throughout the show. And when we get closer to, 20, we'll do the raffle. So if you're just jumping on, Brody Dalton is a name to know in the transfer portal. He is a tight end. Todd, I'm confused by what you said. Todd Tipton says, I am Matt Dunn. All right. And Coach Kalen DeBoer early said that, there's going to be a little bit of activity in terms of adding. Look, let me ask you this before we move on to our next topic. And this was kind of what we were asking before. More or less 5 guys going in the transfer portal. The transfer portal ends on the 26th, maybe the 27th. How many guys do you think still leak out of Alabama? I'm not saying that no guys are going to leave Alabama, but how are you feeling about that? More or less than 5 right now inside the comment box. Type more than 5, less than 5. At this point in time, I'm saying less. And Chad, I got you. Yes, twice. Yep, I got you, man. You're good. Chad and Woe, I got you guys. I think I'm saying less. And, as I was saying yesterday on the show, I think that really tells you a lot about the culture of where things stand right now. And that is good news in itself. Because I feel that if there was like a problem, guys would be hemorrhaging out of the program. There's a lot of places right now where guys are just bouncing out. I mean, I'm sure you follow 24/7 or On3 or whatever. It's all the time. It's amazing to me that Alabama's been tightened up. I thought less than 5, but I at least thought like a few guys. I mean, look, it's only day 3, so Jay Money's saying, 2. I could see 2 or 3, but I think we're at a really good point right now. Yes, I'm hitting the Red Bull today. And Melon Jesus asking about scholarship numbers. I think they're close to 85. I think the last time we had them, it was like 82. So they can take a couple more, and they always make room for guys that they want, right? Okay. So that's kind of the transfer portal. Remember, this is the name to watch. Brody Dalton. Follow your recruiting sites. There's some amazing people to keep track of the recruiting scene. The great Andrew Bone, or the guy Brett Greenberg is great for 24/7 as well. Dennis King, I got you in as well for the hoodie as well. Okay, and Trevor's like, no one is leaving. No one is leaving. To answer this, Chris, when does the portal close? The 26th is when the portal closes. Ebony, what's up? Good morning to you. I appreciate you here. Bill is saying less than 5. Agree with that. Good to see you, Ebony. I hope you're off to a really good day. Okay, Lee Corso, announced that after his 40-year career that he's going to be retiring in August. Look, when you think about College Game Day and you think about college football, Lee Corso, clearly an iconic figure in that space. I think with the addition of Coach Saban recently, Game Day has really elevated its product. And I think that him and Pat McAfee, for whatever reason, they have this on-air synergy where they just kill it. Lee Corso, man, he did a lot for college football. Who's a fan of Lee Corso? Thumbs up if you're a fan of Lee Corso. I know some people don't, like him. I I don't understand why they would have something against him. But I think overall, like, his approval rating's got to be pretty high. What thumbs up? Do we like Lee Corso? I think he's great, and I know he's getting a little bit older, and that's fine. You know, lost a little pep in the step. You try to do this when you're 80 years old, however old he is. My family and I will be forever indebted to the opportunity to be part of ESPN and College Game Day for nearly 40 years. That's a hell of a run at anything, right? Like, I don't know. It just kind of. It made me feel good to see him up there, you know, all the time. It seems like, you know, this is a guy who is part of the college football fabric. I'm sure he'll be in the College Football Hall of Fame. And, you know, really nothing negative to say about Lee Corso at all. I mean, you know, him and Kurt Herbstreit, you know, did their thing, and, you know, we kind of move on. So, and look, he picked Alabama plenty of times. He never had anything against Alabama. 89 years old. Thank you, Lance. I knew he was in his 80s. Look, Todd saying he got cringe in the last few years. There was a couple times where, you know, some of the things that he said, you know, whatever. But overall, I think positive. That's a long time. A lot of positive feedback, as I would expect on Lee Corso. All right. Again, this is the hoodie for the raffle. Venmo Bama _YouTube, Cash App Bama YouTube, and we will, once we hit the threshold of 20, we'll do the raffle. And if we don't hit the threshold on this show, we'll just roll it over to the next show. It's a tight hoodie as well. I really like this. I would like to have this as well. Alex Wilder won the hoodie yesterday. All right, Trevor is in as well. I got you in, Trevor. All right, Trevor. I think someone else. Let me see. And I think that when you go into the transfer portal, you have to, like, in my opinion, I don't think Alabama needs to go for too many more reserves. I think that you go in for like a really impact guy. Like, that's how I would see it. Right now, I think they have so many impact guys that, yes, Alyssa, that's true. I'm the hoodie king. All right, Trevor, I got you in. I mean, the only other area that you would need is, I guess, offensive tackle. Is there another area? I don't know. I think offensive tackle and maybe tight end. Okay. Do you see this? All right, Steve Taylor, got you in. Alex, you can definitely jump in this raffle as well, bro. Same rules as yesterday. All right, look at this. Thumbs up for this rule, okay? Listen up, eyes up. Starting in 2025, a team will be charged a timeout if its training staff enters the field to look at a player who has gone down after the ball was spotted for the next play. If a player goes down after the ball is spotted and his team doesn't have timeouts remaining, his team will be assessed a 5-yard delay a game. Finally, you know, you're getting a little bit of guardrails around this because, thumbs up if you think this is a good rule. All right, Brandon Walls, I got you in, bro. Yeah, Alex, if you want to do it that way, that's fine with me, bro. Because I felt like we were getting to a point in college football, it was kind of almost like soccer, to where a lot of guys were starting to flop, right? And rules to get on the raffle is $10 for the raffle, Venmo, Bama _YouTube at Cash App. And once we get our threshold of 20, then we'll do the raffle, bust out the pinwheel. Some people are calling this the Lane Kiffin rule. Look, it's this is a good rule for college football, 100%. I have to go back. I don't know if I saw Alabama do much of the flopping. There might have been a couple times, but there were some programs that absolutely took advantage of, the lack thereof this rule. So seeing this being implemented now in college football is good detail. Okay, look. I love Clint Lamb. Look, all these reporters out there and these guys in this space, I have respect for all of them. I've met most of them. And whether they're on a gigantic platform or a small platform, give them the love and support because, look, these guys work their absolute tail off. Alabama has some of the best team reporters that there are, period. And, Clint Lamb, I'm sure you follow, his channel as well. Him and Mick do an amazing job. Allison, I got you in. And he brought up something really interesting to me. I was cruising through, the pre-show, and Clint posted this, and I was like, he always say he has some great takes on X. I guess you have to call it X now. It's not Twitter. But he says this. So keep this in mind talking about the quarterback position. We'll get back on defense. The meat of our show is defense, but I thought this was interesting. So keep this in mind. Ty Simpson is 22. I didn't know that Ty Simpson was 22 years old. Mac is 18, turns 19 on the 5th, right, this summer. And yeah, I know, Ephraim, there's so many Bama channels, bro. It's crazy. Keelan Russell is 17. Though Alabama has like the most talented 17-year-olds that there are, right? He'll turn 18 this month on the 24th. Mac was 17 years old when he got to Alabama last spring. So, man, Austin Mack and Keelan Russell, these guys are so young. And I know that just recently, Coach Kalen DeBoer, I think this morning, was talking about Austin Mack with the next round. For whatever reason, I think sometimes Austin Mack seems a little bit older than where he's at. But, man, he's right here in the quarterback competition, and he's very young. I mean, imagine this guy when he's 20 years old. What is he, 6'6"? Right? Michael Coleman, I got you in, man. Just pointing out that, look, it's a really young and talented quarterback room. I mean, I don't know. Young is 22 young? I mean, it is to me. I'm, double his age. But for college football, you see what I'm saying? This is the hoodie today for the raffle. I got Woe, Chad Kennedy, Dennis King, Trevor, Steve Taylor, Brandon Walls, Allison, Michael Coleman checked in. A super chat, for 10 will work as well. If you don't have Venmo or Bama YouTube or Cash App or whatever, a super chat will work as well. But ways to get in to the raffle is Bama YouTube. All right. Chad Campbell, I got you in, man. And once we hit our threshold, we'll do the pinwheel. We're going to be talking about the defense next. And look, the last couple days, we've been talking about Hey, Chad Kennedy, how many entries was that you have? Because I already had you. So the last couple days, we've been talking about the offense, and I told you we would go kind of position by position talking about the defense. Where I want to start today is specifically talking about the Alabama defensive line. And I think for there's a lot of questions about the Alabama defensive line outside of Tim Keenan and James Smith. We didn't see a lot of James Smith. I think he was limited or whatever. And those are like the defensive tackles, right? Kind of the plugs in the middle. I'm talking about these two guys right here. But we don't really know too much about Edric Hill, Fega, and Jeroboam Beeman, right? And then you have a new addition, Stephen Bua, right? So this was an area I think of, that we had to focus on and see how these guys developed, right? And I think I got you, Chris, no doubt, man. And I think when you look to defensive tackle, that's the area we're trying to focus in on is like, how good is this, like the ones and the twos going to be? Because I feel that Tim Keenan is quality. I feel that James Smith is about to have a really big season, but you know who had a really big spring was this young man right here, Jeremiah Beeman. So be honest with me inside the comment box, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, just talking about the players on the screen, let's call these, the defensive line, D tackles, nose guards. How would you assess this defensive line, the players on this particular screen? We'll talk about the Bandit next. Like, is this an elite group? 7, 8? Like, yeah, they're pretty good. 6'5", above average. I might say like a 7. And that probably went up. Yeah, there you go. 7, right? I don't know. Like, Stephen Boo, I didn't hear too much about him. That doesn't mean anything. It just means I didn't hear anything from him. I'm sure somebody else, I saw pictures of him. Hey, B-Rob, thanks for the super chat, man. Mac can't transfer to Tennessee because it's in the SEC, and he hasn't graduated yet. The only quarterback that could transfer to Tennessee is Ty Simpson because he's a graduate of the University of Alabama. So he could transfer somewhere else if he wants to, but he can't transfer to SEC. I know the rules are like so crazy in the transfer portal. But, yeah, that's I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure Tennessee would be happy if they got him, but no, he's not going to Tennessee. I don't think he's going anywhere, to be honest. I think he's going to stay here and battle for that job because he was recruited specifically from Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer. But getting back to, and thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate it. Hey, Raphael, man, what's up? Good to see you inside the comment box, man. Welcome on in. Feel at home, bro. We heard really good things about Jeremiah Beeman. Really good things, which was great. So we had a breakthrough. I think Stephen Boo was going to be really good. London Simmons right here, he gets here this summer. And you know what? We heard some good things about Edric Hill. All right. So now when you look at the Bandit position, and you know what? Write this down. Kelby Collins right here, he practiced as a defensive lineman as well. So maybe we really only have 3 Bandits, which would be LT Overton, Keon Keeley, and Jordan Renaud. Now, the big thing was Keon Keeley going to transfer, right, after the spring season. I mean, for whatever reason, that's kind of been the assumption about this guy, right? Am I wrong? Like, everybody has thought that Keon Keeley is going to transfer. He's never said that. He's never posted anything weird on social media. He's just been at practice. He's got some, plugs and some shout outs from Freddie Roach. I've never seen anything to indicate that he would be like transferring. I think what happened was because he came in as an outside linebacker and then they put him at Bandit and we thought, oh, that means that he's not capable. I don't know what we thought, but it seemed like the water cooler talk was that Keon Keeley was going to leave, but here we go through another transfer portal, and it's been kind of quiet again. Like he's here. If you just focus in, and I'll go full screen on this, at the Wolf, right? So today we're talking about just right here, the defensive front. So let's just look at the 2 deep, what it theoretically could be, right? Tim Keenan, maybe Jeremiah Beeman is the 2, James Smith, Edric Hill. Okay, that might be it. I don't know if that's a weak spot. Pretty good. I mean, Tim Keenan's a lot better than people give him credit for. I love me some Tim Keenan. And then this Bandit's really good, too. I mean, LT Overton coming back, my goodness. This is probably one of the top 15 players in college football on the defensive side. Right? Someone asked about Noah. Chasen, Noah Carter enters his second year here. I've seen him recently at the practice. Looks good. I mean, that entire Wolf position is full of athletes, super athletic guys, right? Ja Latham came back, Quay Rusa, Yanze Pierre. So, I mean, it's going to take once those guys filter out, you'll see some of those guys, start to climb up. But that is such an athletic position. It's just going to take time for those guys to develop to contribute. Not to say that they couldn't contribute now. It's just like Quay Rusa is the guy, Yanze Pierre. He looks really good as well. Just a super, super talented group. All right, Kane Womack's about to talk about LT Overton coming back. As I just said, and look, is that an overstatement? Would you say let me ask you this. Why Coach Womack is talking about LT Overton, who are the top 3 Alabama players on defense? Top 3 Alabama players on defense, okay? Who are the top 3 Alabama players on defense? Here's Coach Kane Womack talking specifically about LT Overton.
Had some flashes of brilliance last year, especially that A&M game. Just wanted to get your opinion on how he's grown this spring and how you plan to use him maybe in a more versatile role next season.
Yeah, I think LT, is a guy that you feel like when he's out there on the field, you can trust him, right? He's going to do his job. He's very consistent. He's a team player. And I think that he can do some things in terms of generating pass rush, that he can take that another step from where he was a year ago. At times he affected the passer, but I think in terms of being able to finish in the backfield, that's something that we hope that I think we see him taking steps in the right direction amongst a number of other guys up front there. But to me, LT has worked his tail off to put himself in position to compete at really the highest level, of the SEC, and so we're excited for him and excited to kind of see him take that next step.
All right, so that's Coach Kane Womack talking about LT Overton. I think he kind of underplayed it a little bit. Like, LT Overton is an absolute beast. So, I mean, you don't want to show all your cards or whatever, but we know how talented LT Overton is. So I asked before he spoke, who are the top 3 players on defense? Let's see what Jarvis has to say. Jarvis says LT, Damani Jackson, Bray Hubbard. Interesting. That's interesting, Jarvis. All right. Samuel says LT, Deontay Lawson, and Damani Jackson. This is the 3 that I would have went with, but sliding in Bray was an interesting play. No, I didn't think about that. Okay. Herman says Quay, Rusa, Deontay Lawson, and Damani Jackson. Okay. LT, Quay, and Damani. I think I'm going to go, and I bring this up is because, look, I would probably have it number 1, Deontay Lawson, number 2, LT Overton, I think, and then number 3, Damani Jackson. 4, maybe Quay. 5, Bray. I'm telling you, like, the defense has it. A lot of these guys coming back. And on the back end of this interview, Kane Womack's going to talk about the word buy-in. And that word, I think, carries a lot of weight for me. Let's see. Big Country Tide. What's up, Big Country Tide? I like that name, man. That's tight. LT, Quay, and Damani. Okay. Carter is bringing up the fact that Damani got burned a few times in that Tennessee game. Had me scared. Okay. Fair point. Todd, let's see. Todd says LT, Damani, and Bray. Ooh, Bray gets another love. All right. Bama Boy says Bray Hubbard, Deontay Lawson, and Tim Keenan. I'm telling you, the defense is stacked. Okay. Okay. So talking about kind of the 2 deep for that defensive line, here is Coach Kane Womack talking about Jeremiah Beaman. This was a refreshing update, getting an update on Jeremiah Beaman. By the way, I'm sure you saw, like, during the springtime, there was some footage of Jeremiah Beaman putting in the work. He's 310 pounds, and he looks absolutely like he just looks yoked, all right? Hey, Marcus, man, I appreciate you being here. Sometimes, the notifications get sent out. Sometimes they don't. I don't know. But I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're well on this Feel Good Friday. It's Good Friday. All right, here's Kane Womack talking about Jeremiah Beaman.
See him take that next step.
Oh, this is the hoodie. All right, we're feeling good on the hoodie, so we're filling up fast. Bama_YouTube if you want to get into the raffle, or Cash App Bama YouTube. Here's underneath the screen. This is what we're raffling out. As soon as we get 20, we'll hit the pinwheel, and we'll see how it goes. All right, this hoodie is dope. All right, I only rock with fly hoodies. My hoodie game is really tight, and I want you to have a really good hoodie too, right? Plus, the one thing that I like about these is that American flag patch. A lot of the coaches have been rocking the black hoodies. I like them. I really like this hoodie as well. Here's Coach Kane Womack talking about Jeremiah Beaman.
spring, the players brought up Jeremiah Beeman's name a lot as somebody who made some big steps. Can you just speak to the spring that he had?
Yeah, really, really pleased with Beam and the way that the steps that he has taken this spring. I think you saw pieces of that at the end of the season, even in bowl preparation, and then what he was able to do and execute in the bowl game. He did a really nice job for us in the bowl game, and then, I thought took his game to another level in the spring. And so there's a big body, a big frame that can move. He's athletic, and he is operating with consistency, right, that we can trust. And so I'm excited about his trajectory.
All right, good update from Coach Kane Womack. Marcus, I got you in as well, bro. Thank you so much. I think we're going to have enough to do the pinwheel today. So if we could just get a few more to sign up, we should be good to go. And this is what we're raffling off today. How we do it, you enter $10 to either Bama_YouTube, Cash App. We run the pinwheel, and we roll through. So Patrick says, let's see what Patrick says in regards to the hoodies. Patrick says, I think the black hoodies are the Call of Duty. These are tight. I like these. Yeah. People complain about DeBoer hoodie is crazy. You know what? That was the thing. If you watch the NFL, the coaches are wearing gear like this. Like, I ain't seen a coach out in like a suit and tie. Coach Caitlin DeBoer, of course, had like a really nice blazer on today or yesterday when he was speaking at his speaking engagement. I don't really have a problem with like something like this or like a hoodie. NFL coaches wear that. Let's see what Antoine has to say. Got another 6'3" corner in this class. The length of the future is DB is crazy. And that's the way that they want to go. I think one of the things that has been refreshing for Alabama is, getting a little bit of length, not only at the defensive back position, but also at receiver, right? You got Derek Meadows. Maybe things work out with Sedarian Morgan, the 6'4" wide receiver out of, I think, Alexander City, right? He's a big wide receiver. Okay, in this next clip, we have Kane Womack talking about buy-in. I think this is so important, and I think this kind of paints the picture. It kind of ties in everything that I think we're experiencing right now with why players haven't dipped out. I think people have bought in. And when I say people, I mean the players on the roster have bought in to the defense, to the offense, but to Coach Kalen DeBoer, the coaching staff, which I love the word buy-in. So, yeah, Melon Jesus, that hoodie's tight. I know. All right, here's Coach Kane Womack talking about kind of the defense and the buy-in.
I think there's a tremendous amount of buy-in right now. I think our guys are excited about what we're doing. We've been able to have continuity in the defense and also add some wrinkles that the guys like. You want them to have fun. You want them to be excited to come to work. You want them to be challenged mentally and physically. And I think that we have kind of hit all of those metrics this spring.
All right. And once again, here's that defensive line when you kind of look at a glance. So, there's a lot of positives on the defensive side. And, as we go next week, we'll take a look at the inside linebackers, and we'll take a look at that wolf position. And the one thing that you'll continue to see as we go further within the defense is the experience. There's so much experience now within the inside linebacker room. And a lot of those guys were out this past spring. But when you look to the outside linebacker, now known as the wolf, that's another area that has a lot of experience. So it's really easy to get excited about this defense. And it's easy to gas up during this point in time. But, look, the guys that are returning are quality players. So, hearing a really good update from Kane Womack regarding the defensive line. I gave the defensive line like a 7. I want to see it on the field. I'd like to see a little bit more pass rush. I think LT Overton, has goals of getting like 8 or 10 sacks, something like that. Because I felt like, what did he have this past year? He had under 5, right? Oh, and for this particular shirt, I know I got so much feedback on this. I was cruising through Dick's Sporting Goods a couple months ago, and I saw this on the clearance rack. So this is honestly like my favorite shirt to wear. All right, Jacob, we got you with the super chat. I'm gonna take a quick commercial. We have enough for the pinwheel. So give me like 2 minutes. Let me organize everything, and then we'll spin the pinwheel. But wait, first I heard something on Cavante Henry. Man, this was interesting. I'm glad you brought this up, 205. I didn't hear a lot about Cavante Henry either, which doesn't mean anything. Like, sometimes I just don't hear stuff on players. This guy's highlight tape, I thought this is how excited I was about him. And I'm still excited about him. His highlight tape screamed like on the field playing time this year. So, look, I'm curious to find out. Like, I would just be curious to even talk to, like, Kane Womack. I don't know if he said anything about him. Like, where is he kind of in the process right now? Because I was like, man, that is he's another, like, highly sought out prospect. All right, let me organize the pinwheel. I'll be back on the other side. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back. This is the hoodie that we're raffling. All right, so on the back side, this is what we're going to go with. Ways to get in the raffle, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. Be back in like just 2 minutes, okay? Give me 2 minutes. See you, Rafa, man. Have a good weekend, bro. Enjoy your Friday. All right, fam. You guys ready? You guys ready to hit the pinwheel? All right. Appreciate you guys. I love this. I love this hoodie. So let me fire up the pinwheel. Pinwheel makes me nervous too. Who do you think's gonna win it? Alex won it yesterday. All right. Here we go. Free pinwheel. All right. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right, let me get it right. Okay, here's the pinwheel. Music or no music? The music is already kind of like All right. You guys ready? All right. West Coast, and what's up, man? Good to see you from Thailand again. All right, here we go. It is the pinwheel. It is the Bama pinwheel on Bama YouTube. Appreciate you guys being here on Good Friday. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show today. I've had a really good time. You guys always give me that great energy. All right, here we go. The pinwheel starts right now. 3, 2, 1. Are you kidding me? Alex Wilder with the back-to-back. He got in 5 times. Alex Wilder is cleaning up, all right? Alex Wilder with the, he was in 5 times. Hey, Rocket Time, we'll move you to the next one, man, if we didn't get you in this last time. So, Alex, man, I already got your info from yesterday. Back-to-back. Alex had 5 times, dude. In Rocket Town, I'm going to write you down, man. We'll roll you over to the next one, bro. Congratulations, Alex, with a back-to-back win, bro. Hey, you got in 5 times, dude. Hey, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with us. Alex, bro, you're on fire, dude. You should join the game show or something, dude, because you're absolutely feeling it, dude. Roll Tide, Alex. Man, Alex got 2 hoodies in 2 days. You got it in 5 times, though. Yep. Yeah. All right. Yesterday, it was all right. Good day on the course. I went out to Dell's. All right. Alex, you need to go on the game show, bro. This is crazy. Hey, fam, I love you guys. Thanks for rocking with me always on Bama Football on YouTube. I love you guys so much. I really hope you guys have a really great Easter weekend. I hope you guys have great food. I hope that you continue to stay where your feet are at and be good people and just enjoy life. Life is so precious, and, it's great to cover the Alabama Crimson Tide, and be here to talk every day Alabama football. Look, I think overall, and kind of my closing thoughts are, the great news is the culture right now at Alabama football. I think that was a lot of people were kind of wondering about, like, what would happen, would there be fallout? There hasn't been. Things have been certainly tightened up here at the University of Alabama, and I feel that the roster, it's speaking for itself, right? So that says so much to me. And when you hear and when you see, like, players not hitting the transfer portal, when you hear the word buy-in, that's telling us a lot, right? So, look, I like where things are at, and, feeling really good about where things stand. Have a beautiful Easter weekend with your family. I hope you have an amazing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'll catch you guys as news happens. Remember, if news happens, I'm live. And, I'll be back. And check out my men's devotional, too, if you're into that sort of stuff. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day. Rocket Town, I got you on the next video, bro. I got you written down right here, bro. All right. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Anderson of Bama Football on YouTube, wishing you a good Friday. Be safe, have fun, and we'll catch you next time right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam.